Amid the ongoing war between Ukraine and Russia, the geopolitics in Europe are currently undergoing a churn, with formerly neutral countries also now seeking to join the Western fold for added security. Finland has now said that the country wishes to join the NATO military alliance. In a joint statement, the President and the Prime Minister of Finland said that the country must apply for NATO membership without delay. Reports suggest that Finland and Sweden will apply for NATO membership on Sunday. Meanwhile, according to a Reuters report, NATO is likely to expedite the approval of the membership bill by the two Nordic countries, and it is likely to be approved at the upcoming Madrid summit. But it will take 1 year to ratify the membership. During the period, the allies would provide an increased troop presence in the Nordic region, hold more military exercises and naval patrols in the Baltic Sea, and possibly rotate US and British forces through Finland and Sweden. Finland and Sweden would not benefit from NATO's collective defence clause, that an attack on one ally is an attack on all until the parliaments of all 30 member states have ratified the decision. For more details, joining us live on this broadcast is our correspondent Rosie Burchard from Brussels. Rosie, thanks for joining us. Now, it seems that formerly neutral countries like Finland and Sweden are in favour of joining the NATO military alliance. What does this mean for geopolitics in the region?
This means an absolutely fundamental shift in the security architecture and landscape here in Europe. Finland is now looking toward a U-turn, reversing decades of a policy of military non-alignment. Now, NATO, which calls itself a defensive alliance, was born in the aftermath of World War II. But since then, Finland has always kept its distance, preferring partnership over membership and keeping up really business-like cooperation with Moscow. But that invasion of Ukraine by Russia has really changed everything. This would have been just unthinkable a few months ago. Support for NATO membership among the Finnish population before that invasion was around 20 or 30%. Now it's well above 60%. So we see a really radical shift here with Finns looking toward NATO for potential security. And why this is increasingly important is that Finland shares a border with Russia, which is more than 1,300 kilometres or 800 miles long. And this is something which will not be welcome news in Moscow.
Right. Now, Rosie, Ukraine, of course, as we know and we've been reporting, has been pushing for this for months, for a NATO membership, for its security architecture largely. After this move, how will Ukraine react?
This might be a tough pill for Ukraine to swallow. Ukraine has not only been pushing for NATO membership for months, but for years it's made its aspirations toward joining the alliance quite clear. And you'll remember, before Russia invaded Ukraine, one of its demands was that NATO effectively bar Ukraine from ever joining the alliance. But NATO says it has an open door policy, but the doors seem to be more open to some than to others. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg has said that he expects the alliance to welcome Finland and Sweden with open arms if they move forward with applications with Ukraine. That could be a slightly more difficult situation for all sorts of reasons, including eligibility reforms, but also, of course, the situation with Russia. Now, Ukraine looks like it will have to look for its security guarantees elsewhere moving forward as this war drags on. And NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg has warned that the war in Ukraine could last for months, if not years. A very sobering assessment.
Right, Rosie, thanks so much for all those inputs. Thanks for joining us on WION at this hour. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.